Hi friends, this is Mangal and Muralidharan talking from India. Today I'm going to discuss some of the best activities that we can do for the basic level learners. The basic level learners have to really work on their vocabulary building in a very big way. It's very tough for them to understand whatever we say. So it's better to use A1 level language or A2 level language with them. We'll have to treat them as if they don't really have much of an understanding to get to know more about ordinary day-to-day communication. So make a list of phrases or idioms that you make use of, or make a list of sentences that you could possibly introduce them to. For example, how do you do? How are you? What's up? Where are you going now? What's happening now? How do you feel about it? What are the best moments today? What have you been doing? So these are questions which we can make use of, provided they understand it. Right? Sometimes it's very important for them to have samples of such communication. I always tell my best friends who are the trainers for those students, I ask them to think in terms of um, providing the best samples of communication for that particular level. You can't give A1 level candidate with a B2 level language. First, you should give A2 level and then try to be very friendly with them. Ask them whether they understand it, right? If possible, play some subtitles whenever you play some video or audio. uh, Give them scripts. If there is a feasibility to give scripts, give them the scripts. Then pick up the difficult vocabulary there. Explain the vocabulary, explain the meanings, pronounce it for them, correct them if they mispronounce it, and train them on spellings. Maybe they may not be all right in writing the spellings once you teach them. You'll have to check them. You need to verify whether they've got it right. Help them to internalize the spelling rules, syntax rules, etc. It might take some time for them. You need to repeat on a few occasions. Apart from all these, you have to make their class quite interesting. Help them to consult a dictionary, which many of us never do. Consulting a dictionary helps them to equip themselves on their own, but they may not be aware of how to use the dictionary. My suggestion to teachers is to make sure that you provide them bilingual dictionary at first, and then think about basic learners dictionary or elementary learners dictionary. Uh, Provide them pictures wherever it's possible, right? Activities are to be described with animation. Some samples. So only when you provide such easy examples, they could go up to the next level. When they go up to the next level, then it is easy for us to push them further to understand multiple layers of meanings. But they should understand first level of meaning there, and then maybe they can make use of it, come up with their own sentences, analyze various examples. Even analysis is not so easy for them. I will always say you need to analyze with them, sit next to them, support them in coming up with examples. Whenever they give some examples, even with errors, appreciate them. That's very important. Recognize them, appreciate them, help them to discover the learning potential. Once you identify the progress they make, they'll be happy to make further progress. That is the learner psychology. So identify the progress every day. If there are any mental blocks in learning, help them to overcome those mental blocks, right? And the best thing that I would always say is motivation. Number one, make them write down what they want to do and give them a roadmap. Slowly support them, persuade them, provide them learning strategies, techniques, make them come up with examples, streamline their thinking process with micro skill enhancement, right? So micro skills are very important. We need to really provide the micro skills. Only when the learners understand how to use those micro skills, then they get to know the macro skill process. In other words, somebody who wants to listen to a conversation may not really listen everything so easily on the first day. They could first find themselves bit not so happy when they listen to a conversation. So make them listen to first few sentences, give them the script, ask them to read the script, understand the script, explain it, underline the important words there, phrases, idioms there, and also explain the pronunciation. You're going to play non-native speakers or native speakers. Try to give some introduction with mostly native speakers. If they speak in very standard English, it's going to be very, very tough for the A1 level learners. You have to sit next to them, play the subtitles, and you need to really go to their level and then slowly modify their learning behavior, their attitude, their interest, and they go further, right? So that is how we can do the best. I wish you understand whatever I've said today. So you think about it, you think about the process of analysis and reviews and reflection. So I'll have to always insist on reflecting the process of learning. Reflective learning is extremely important for us. You would ask me why? Because only when we reflect on whatever we have learned, we could try to keep our learning trajectory further. So even a basic level learner will have this problem of understanding how to go about it. He or she may not be aware of the challenges that this person faces when he or she learns something new. So when they learn something new, they have to really have some idea of uh, using it. So using whatever they learn matters a lot for all of us, right? So give them the context of learning. That's very important. Contextual applications of all that they learn, and give them the samples, not just one sample. You'll have to give them reinforcement samples. I'd always say you begin with where you started yesterday. For example, today you started teaching simple present tense. Tomorrow again you start with simple present tense, and day after tomorrow, just you come back and ask whether they have really overcome the challenges in simple present tense. Can they give examples? Verify them. And it is good to check the learning progress once in a week and review their fluency, their application of all that they have learned. And it should be very relevant for their work or studies. If it's not really relevant, if they don't really practice it, then they may forget. And I've seen students who are coming back after 1 year, telling the teachers that they can't really understand what they learned long ago. They forgot it because they don't use it. Most of the rural children did not never get a chance to make use of whatever they learn. They don't have anyone to speak in English. So ask them to think about a clubhouse app where they can be in touch with some group communication, team communication, listen to some people. Maybe they could also listen to a lot of English. You have BBC Learning English app, BBC Listening English app. There are hundreds of apps available. Even Spotify has got thousands of podcasts which they can listen to. They can listen to Apple iTunes, and there are so many other podcasts that they can keep their eyes on. So listen to improve yourself every day. That could be the key strategy that we can teach our basic learners. Second, when it comes to writing, I'll always say learn to write a few sentences about whatever they do. Diary writing is something that I always encourage my students to do. They could write about what they did this morning, afternoon, evening, what kind of challenges had they faced, and what were they doing the weekend. Ask them to write down anything and everything that they did or they witnessed. So that would possibly change their thinking process because they may think only in their mother tongue. Suddenly they used to think in English. So this code switching will happen. This code switching has to happen so easily, conveniently, and comfortably, for which you need to provide learner learning time, encourage them. And if they go wrong somewhere, try to correct them, right? And this can happen only if the teacher-learner rapport is excellent, right? The teacher has to support the learner on all occasions. Even if the learner finds it extremely difficult to make progress, we have to counsel them, strategize them, support them, give them a lot of exercises. That is how we can change. I wish we can do all this in a big way. And if you have any questions related to training, you are free to ask me. I'm there to provide teacher training programs across the world. I'm ready to do it online and offline. If you want to get to know more about me, visit me at www.mangalaprataban.com. That is MANGALAPRATHABAN.com. You can also visit my blog, that is www.poetmangalaprataban.blogspot.com. That is POETMANGALAPRATHABAN.blogspot.com. Good luck to you. All the best. See you. Bye bye.